let's talk about how to put text on your drawing and make it the right size. So I've been working on my floor plans here, and I want to put dimension on them, of course, and then I want to put some text in here to label the rooms. The first thing I'm going to do is go to my paper space and just make sure that I know what scale my viewport is. So I'll double click inside. Yes, it looks like I've already set it at 3/16 of an inch to the foot. That's what I wanted. So I'm going to close this again. I'll go back to paper space now. All right, now I put a little note over here. Here's something you can do. I put this note on the viewport layer because the viewport is a no print layer, and so I can leave notes to myself all over the place and they will never print. And so here's how I'm figuring out the text height. My viewport scale is 3/16 of an inch to the foot, or in other words, 3/16 equals 12 inches. Okay. And for purposes of punching numbers into your calculator, 3/16 happens to be 0.188 of an inch. Okay, so 3/16 per 12 inches, I'm going to say 12 divided by 0.188, and that turned out to be 64. 3/16 goes into 12 64 times. That means my scale factor is 64. So I can plug that into my dimension style. Also, when I'm trying to make text, if I want my text to be 1/8 of an inch high in paper space when I print it, I'm going to need to make it 64 times bigger in my model space. So 1/8 of an inch when I'm done times 64 equals 8. I need to make my text 8 inches high for this particular drawing. Okay, let's go back to my things here. So first of all, if I want to put some dimension stuff on here, we've talked about this before, so I'm going to go over this quickly. Let me get back on the dimension layer and let me go to the annotate tab, down to the dimension style arrow, and let me modify my style. And here is the fit tab. Uh-oh, I don't have 64 in here. I need 64 in here. So I'll put a 64 right there. And I'll make sure my text is still 1/8 of an inch high. I never changed that. Good. So scale of 64, yay. And so now when I put a dimension on my floor plan, the text will be the right height. So that's good. But now I want to label some of these rooms here. I'm going to go back to the plain old Home tab here, where we're usually working. And here in this annotation panel, there's a thing that says text. And we get our choice of single line or multi-line text. We could do either one. Maybe we'll look at both of them. I'll just get some single line text here first. Now we need to read the directions. So when we got that command, it now says specify the start point. Okay, I want to label my bath in here. Okay, there's my start point. Now what's it saying? Specify height. And notice it says in brackets 1/8 of an inch. The last time I put in some text, I must have made it 1/8 of an inch, and so that's what's stored in its brain. But I need to multiply that 64 times, 1/8 times 64 equals 8. That's the calculation we just looked at over in the other space there. 1/8 of an inch times 64 equals 8. I need my text to be 8 inches high. And see, there's where it's remembering that I just typed 8. Specify rotation angle. Do I want to rotate my text? No, I do not. So I'm going to leave that 0. I'll hit enter. Now what's it saying? Text. Oh, okay. So now I can just type my text, bath. And when I hit enter, it gives me a chance to enter some more text down here. But I don't want more text down here, so I'm just going to enter again, and it takes me out of the text. Goody. Now I think I will make some more text. If I type the word text, that gives me this single line text command, and now it says specify start point. Okay. Click. Specify height. Oh, now it's got 8 inches stored in its memory, so I don't have to type a height. I'll just hit enter to move on. Do I need a different rotation angle? No, I do not, so I'll hit enter to move on. And now I will type foyer. Enter, enter. Looky there, I've got some good looking text that is the right height. It's 8 inches high in model space, but when I go to paper space, and get myself dialed in there, that is going to be 1/8 of an inch high on the piece of paper. Goody. Okay. Now, what's the deal with this M text, this multi-line text? I could choose that command, multi-line text. Now it looks a little different. It says specify first corner. All right. Well, it wants me to make a box within which I'm going to put my text like that, so I could write a paragraph. But let's read the directions down here. What else does it want? Ooh, there's height. I probably should enter H for height, or just click on that. H for height. And it says it's got 8 inches stored in its brain still, so we're okay. So enter to move on. Anything else? Opposite corner? All right, I'll do that. Now it looks a little different. Now we're in the M-Text editor, and it looks like that. And the ribbon up at the top has changed to the text editor. All right, now I can type, what room is this? Laundry. And now I'll close the text editor, and there's that. If I am a typing sort of person, I could type T for text, and look here. In the pop-up list, it says if you just type a plain T, you're going to get M-Text. M-Text is the newer, more modern kind of text. If you want the old-timey single-line text, you have to type the whole word. So that's just FYI. All right. You might have noticed there were some other things, some other options in here. In case you should ever want to change where the insertion point is, you can click Justify, and it will let you put the insertion point on one end or in the center, top left, top center, top right, blah, blah, blah. So that's how you justify, that is, move the insertion point. I want to say one more thing about text. Let us go back to the Annotate tab, because this is where we get all our texty stuff. And here is, here on the left, is the panel that is about text. And you can see here Arch is the style we happen to have current right now. But let's go look at the text style manager. So I'm going to click this diagonal arrow here. And here's my style. I made this. Maybe I will make a new text style just so we can step through this. So I'll do a new style. I will call this a test style. And now it wants to know what font would you like to use. Well, I'm going to keep stylus because that's what we use in architectural drawings. What I want to show you is this right here. See how it says height 0? Don't change that. Leave that at 0. Okay, so now this is my new text style. I'll set that current and I'll close. So now my test style is my current style. The reason you leave that text height 0 is because when you go to dimension things, modify, fit scale, it's going to be multiplying stuff times your text height of 1/8 of an inch, your fit scale of 64, and if you have some height in that text style manager, it is going to get messed up and you won't be able to figure out how to unmess it. I know I never can. It's just a mess, so avoid that and don't do it. The other thing I wanted to say was this thing right here that says annotative is a great idea and it doesn't work. Shalimar and I have both collaborated on this and we cannot figure out how to get it to work reliably. The idea is it's supposed to make your text scale to the viewport scale without your having to go through this math exercise, but it doesn't work right, so never mind. I'm going to put my Arch style set current, so it's my current style. So there's some text now, and I can certainly move this text if I want to. M for move. If I were smart, I would maybe make a construction line somewhere, and I would line up this text so that they're all on the same height. And I would do a construction line over here too. I'd try to figure out how to get these words so that the middle of each word was kind of on that line. That looks better. All right, I think that's all I wanted to say. So basic idea is we're at a scale of 3/16 to the foot, which is the same as 1 to 64. So we need to multiply our text times 64 in order to get the right height when we are in paper space and printing things. That's what you do.